Hey everyone, welcome to Watch the Stories. Here we bring you the most emotional, dramatic, and unforgettable tales from every corner of life. So sit back, relax, and get ready to feel every emotion. Because this is where stories come alive. They say I'm the reason a child is dying. I don't know her name yet, but I've already seen her father's eyes. Dark, desperate, and fixed on me like I'm the last match in a burning world. He's standing in the doorway of my restaurant's kitchen right now. This man in a suit that costs more than my entire year's rent, watching me stir a pot of chicken soup like I'm performing surgery. Maybe I am. Maybe that's exactly what this is. Please, he'd said an hour ago, his voice cracking in a way that told me he wasn't used to begging. Just cook her something. Anything. I'm Elena Morales, 26. I run a small restaurant in the kind of neighborhood where people pay in cash and sometimes in promises. My hands smell like garlic and thyme, and there's a permanent burn scar on my right wrist from when I was learning to make my grandmother's paella. I'm nobody special. I'm nobody a billionaire should know exists, but here he is. Julian Cross. I recognized him the moment he walked in. Everyone knows that face. CEO of Cross Industries. Forbes' most eligible bachelor 3 years running. The man who could buy this entire block with his watch collection, and his daughter is starving to death. 6 months, he's telling me now, his voice low and urgent. 6 months since she's eaten more than a few bites. Every doctor in the world has examined her. Every chef I've hired, Michelin stars, private cooks, nutritionists, she takes one bite and he makes a gesture like crumbling paper. It's like ash in her mouth. That's what she says. Everything tastes like ash, I keep stirring. The soup is almost ready. Simple, chicken, carrots, celery, onions. The kind of thing my abuela made when I was sick. The kind of thing that's supposed to heal. Why me? I ask, though I'm afraid I already know the answer will terrify me. Because you're the only one left to try. He's lying. I can tell by the way his jaw tightens. There's something he's not saying, but I'm too afraid to push. Instead, I ladle the soup into a plain white bowl and hand it to him. His fingers brush mine as he takes it. The contact is brief, accidental, but I feel it like a spark, electric and dangerous. He feels it too. I see it in the way his eyes snap to mine, hold for 1 second too long. Come with me, he says. Not a request. A command wrapped in velvet. I follow him out of my kitchen, through my restaurant, into a black car that smells like leather and money. We don't speak during the drive. I watch the city change through the window, my neighborhood bleeding into his, old buildings giving way to glass and steel. His penthouse is on the 72nd floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Art that probably costs more than my life. And in the center of it all, on a white sofa that looks like a cloud, sits a little girl. She's 7, maybe 8. Dark curls, skin so pale it's almost translucent. She's drowning in a cashmere blanket, and when she looks up at me, her eyes are the same dark gold as her father's. Sophia, Julian says softly, kneeling beside her. This is Elena. She made you something. The child looks at the bowl like it might bite her. I've seen that look before. The exhausted resignation of someone who's been disappointed too many times. But then I do something I can't explain. I sit down on the floor in front of her, cross-legged and casual, and I take the spoon. I taste it first. Let her see me swallow. My grandmother used to make this for me, I tell her, when I was scared, when I was sad, when the world felt too big. I hold out the spoon. Want to try? Sophia looks at her father. He nods, and I see the desperation in that nod, the prayer behind it. She takes the spoon, lifts it to her lips, tastes, and then, she devours it. Spoonful after spoonful, faster than she should, like she's been starving for months. Because she has been. Julian makes a sound like a sob caught in his throat. He's staring at me now, and there's something in his eyes I can't name. Something that makes my skin feel too tight. How? He whispers, I don't know. I shake my head, but Sophia is already reaching for me, her small hand grabbing mine. More, she says. Her voice is hoarse, unused. Please, more. I look up at Julian. He's still staring at me. And in that moment, I know, whatever just happened, whatever impossible thing is unfolding between us, there's no walking away from it. I'll need to use your kitchen, I hear myself say. He smiles. It's not a happy smile. It's the smile of a man who just found his lifeline. You can have anything you want, he says, and I believe him. I've been living in Julian Cross's penthouse for 3 days, and I still can't find the exit. Not literally, I know where the doors are. I mean, I can't find the way out of this situation. This strange purgatory where I'm trapped between savior and prisoner. Between guest and something else entirely. Every morning, I wake up in a bedroom bigger than my apartment. Every morning I cook for Sophia, and every morning Julian watches me like I'm a puzzle he's trying to solve. "You don't have to stay in the kitchen," he says now, appearing in the doorway like a ghost in an expensive suit. He does this, materializes when I least expect it. I'm making Sophia's lunch, my hands working through the familiar rhythm of chopping vegetables. "We have staff for this." "Your staff can't feed your daughter," I remind him. My voice comes out sharper than I intend. He steps closer. I smell his cologne, something dark and woody that makes me think of midnight. "No," he agrees quietly. "They can't." The kitchen is silent except for my knife against the cutting board. Tap, 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 a rhythm to keep me grounded. "I had my team run some tests," Julian says finally. "On the soup. The ingredients, everything." I stop chopping. "And nothing unusual. Common ingredients, standard preparation." He pauses. "It's not the food, Elena, it's you." The knife slips. Not enough to cut me, but enough to make him move. Fast, his hand shooting out to steady mine. His palm is warm against my knuckles. "Careful," he murmurs. "We're standing too close now." I can see the shadow of stubble along his jaw, the faint lines around his eyes that suggest he doesn't sleep enough. He smells like coffee and exhaustion. "What do you mean, it's me?" I ask, but I don't pull my hand away. I mean, every other chef has cooked the exact same dishes, used the exact same ingredients, and Sophia couldn't eat any of it. His thumb brushes across my knuckles once deliberately. "But when you cook, she eats. When you're near her, she's stronger. It's not the food. It's you. That's impossible." "I know." His voice drops lower, but here we are. I finally pull my hand away, my heart hammering. There has to be a scientific explanation. There is. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a folder, places it on the counter between us. "4 years ago, there was a car accident near your restaurant. A child was brought to the ER with massive blood loss. They needed a rare blood type, AB negative. You were working nearby and you donated." My stomach drops. I remember. The hospital had sent someone running into the restaurant, begging. I'd gone without thinking. "That was Sophia," Julian continues. "You saved her life that day." And somehow, he opens the folder, shows me pages of medical jargon I can barely understand. Somehow her body has adapted. The doctors think it's a form of biological imprinting. Her system recognizes you at a cellular level. She's not rejecting food. She's rejecting anything that doesn't come from you. I stare at the papers. At the highlighted words, genetic compatibility, cellular recognition, unprecedented case. That's insane. I whisper. I know. That's not how bodies work. I know. He closes the folder. But my daughter is eating for the first time in 6 months, and you're the reason why. I look up at him. Really look at him. And I see it, the fear beneath the control, the desperation beneath the designer suit. This man who can buy anything can't buy this, can't fix this, can only stand here and beg me to stay. What are you asking me? I say quietly. Stay. The word is raw. Live here. Let me hire you, pay you whatever you want, just stay. I have a restaurant, a life. I'll buy the building. Keep it running for you. You can go back whenever you want. He steps closer again, and this time I don't move. Please, Elena, she's my daughter. She's everything. I should say no. I should run. But then I hear small feet padding across marble, and Sophia appears in the doorway, rubbing her eyes. Elena? She says sleepily. I'm hungry. And just like that, I know I'm not going anywhere. Later that night, after Sophia is asleep, I find Julian standing at the windows, staring out at the city lights. I can't pay you enough for this, he says without turning around. You know that, right? I stand beside him. 72 floors up, the world looks like a circuit board. Glowing lines and blinking lights, then why are you trying? He looks at me then, and there's something raw in his expression. Something that makes my breath catch. Because I don't know what else to do, he admits. And because every time you're in the room, I feel like I can breathe again. The air between us shifts, charges. Julian, I know, he cuts me off gently. I know this is complicated. I know you didn't ask for any of this. But he reaches out, stops just short of touching my face. His hand hovers there, trembling. But I can't stop thinking about what you said to Sophia. When the world feels too big. What about it? You make it feel smaller, he whispers. Safer, not just for her. For me too. I should step back. I should maintain boundaries. Instead, I lean forward, just an inch, just enough, and let my cheek rest against his palm. His breath hitches. His fingers curl gently against my skin. This is a bad idea, I murmur. I know. You're my employer. I know. Your daughter needs me stable, focused. I know. His thumb traces my cheekbone. But I need. The penthouse phone rings, shattering the moment. Julian pulls back, jaw tight, and answers it. What? He listens, and I watch his expression change. Shock, then fury. When? How long? A pause. I'll be right there. He hangs up. Looks at me, and I see fear. Sophia's blood work came back, he says. There's something else. Something the doctors missed before. What is it? He grabs his keys, his coat. Get dressed. We're going to the hospital. Now. The hospital smells like antiseptic and secrets. Julian hasn't let go of my hand since we got in the car. His grip is almost painful, but I don't pull away. I can feel his pulse racing against my palm, or maybe that's mine. I can't tell anymore where he ends, and I begin. Dr. Sarah Chen meets us in a private room. Her expression carefully neutral in the way doctors' faces get when the news is bad. Mr. Cross, Ms. Morales. She nods to us both. Thank you for coming so quickly. Just tell me what's wrong with my daughter, Julian says. His voice is steel, but I feel him shaking. Dr. Chen pulls up files on her tablet. Sophia's latest blood work shows something we didn't catch before. When Elena donated blood 4 years ago, something unusual happened during the transfusion. Unusual how? I ask. Your blood type is AB negative, extremely rare. But it's not just the type. She zooms in on something that looks like a constellation of cells. You have a genetic marker we've only seen in a handful of cases worldwide. It's a mutation in your hematopoietic stem cells that makes your blood incredibly adaptive. Almost programmable. Julian's hand tightens on mine. In English, doctor. When Sophia received Elena's blood, her body didn't just accept it, it integrated it. Rewrote parts of her own immune system to match Elena's signature. Dr. Chen looks between us. Sophia's body now recognizes Elena's cellular markers as safe. Everything else registers as foreign, including food prepared by anyone else. The room tilts. I sit down hard in the nearest chair. You're saying I did this to her? My voice sounds distant. No. Dr. Chen's voice is firm.
You saved her life.
This is a side effect no one could have predicted. But Elena, she turns the tablet toward me. There's more. The connection goes both ways. What does that mean? It means your body is responding to Sophia too. Your blood pressure, heart rate, even your serotonin levels, they all stabilize when you're near her. You're essentially biologically bonded. Julian stands abruptly, pacing. How do we fix this? You don't, Dr. Chen says simply. Or rather, you can't. Not without risking Sophia's life. Her body has adapted to need Elena's presence. Separation would trigger a systemic rejection response. So what are you telling me? Julian's voice is dangerous now. That Elena is trapped? That she has no choice but to stay? I'm telling you that right now they need each other. Dr. Chen closes her tablet. I'll give you both some time to process this. She leaves. The door clicks shut. Silence. Julian stares at the wall. I stare at my hands, these hands that somehow impossibly are keeping a child alive. I'll pay you $10 million, Julian says quietly. Stay for 1 year. Let the doctors figure out how to reverse this. After that, you're free. Julian, 20 million. He turns to face me. Name your price, Elena, please, I'm begging you. I stand up, walk to him, and I do something crazy. I reach up and touch his face, making him look at me. I don't want your money, I say. His eyes widen. Then what do you want? I want you to stop trying to buy your way out of feeling helpless. My thumb brushes his cheekbone. I want you to stop treating this like a business transaction. And I want you to tell me the truth. What truth? Why you look at me like I'm the only real thing in your world. He goes very still. Then his hand comes up to cover mine, pressing my palm against his jaw. Because you are, he whispers. Because for 6 months I've been living in hell, watching my daughter fade, and no amount of money or power could fix it. And then you walked into my life and... His voice breaks, and suddenly I could breathe again. Suddenly there was hope. Not just for Sophia. For me. Julian, I know it's selfish, he continues, the words spilling out now. I know you didn't ask for this. But every time you're in the room, I feel like I'm coming back to life. And I don't know if that's because of some biological connection or because... He stops, swallows hard. Because what? Because I'm falling for you, he says. Because every morning I wake up and the first thing I think about is whether you're still here. Because when you smile at Sophia, something in my chest cracks open and I don't know how to close it again. My heart is hammering so hard I can barely hear him. We can't. I know. This is complicated. I know. Your daughter. I know. He steps closer until we're sharing breath. But tell me you don't feel it too. Tell me I'm crazy, and I'll never mention it again. I can't. God help me, I can't. Instead, I close the distance between us and kiss him. It's not soft. It's not careful. It's desperate and fierce, and 6 months of fear and loneliness and impossible connection crashing together all at once. His hands are in my hair, on my waist, pulling me closer like he's afraid I'll disappear. I taste coffee and mint and something darker. Need, raw and unfiltered. When we finally break apart, we're both shaking. This is a terrible idea. I breathe against his lips. Worst one I've ever had. He agrees. We're going to hurt each other. Probably. I should walk away. Please don't. His forehead rests against mine. Please, Elena, I can't lose you both. And there it is. The truth. He's not just asking me to stay for Sophia. He's asking me to stay for him. I should say no. I should establish boundaries. Instead, I kiss him again, softer this time, and whisper against his mouth, I'm not going anywhere. His phone buzzes. We pull apart and he checks it, then his expression changes. Sophia's awake, he says. She's asking for you. We leave the hospital room hand in hand. And I know everything just changed. We can't go back now. 3 weeks later, I'm standing in Julian's kitchen at 2 a.m., wearing one of his t-shirts and nothing else. When I realize I've crossed every line I swore I wouldn't, he finds me there, barefoot and sleepless, staring at the city lights. Can't sleep? His voice is rough from dreams. He's wearing pajama pants slung low on his hips, and I've memorized every line of his chest, every scar. I know the one on his shoulder is from a skiing accident when he was 16. I know the one on his ribs is from the same car crash that nearly killed Sophia. Too many thoughts, I admit. He crosses to me, slides his arms around my waist from behind, pulls me back against his chest. This has become our routine, these stolen moments after Sophia is asleep, when we can just be Julian and Elena instead of father and savior, employer and employee, captor and captive. Tell me, he murmurs against my hair. I called my restaurant today, I say. My manager says everything's fine. Business is actually up since word got out that the owner is working for Julian Cross. But it doesn't feel like mine anymore. I turn in his arms, look up at him. I feel like I'm becoming someone else. Someone who lives in penthouses and wears clothes that cost more than my car. Someone who what? Someone who's falling in love with a man she's biologically bound to. How do I know what's real, Julian? My voice cracks. How do I know if what I feel is choice or chemistry? If you want me or if you just need me because your daughter does? His jaw tightens. You think I don't ask myself the same thing every goddamn day? Do you? Every morning, he admits roughly. Every time I wake up and you're there. Every time Sophia laughs because of something you did. Every time I touch you and it feels like coming home. I ask myself if this is real or if I'm just a desperate man clinging to the only person who can save his child. And what answer do you get? He cups my face in both hands. That I don't care. That even if this is biology, even if this is just my body recognizing yours as essential, I'll take it. I'll take whatever you're willing to give me. That's not enough, I whisper. I know. I need to know you want me, Julian. Not my blood. Not what I can do for Sophia, me. He kisses me then, hard, claiming, desperate. When he pulls back, his eyes are blazing. You want to know if I want you? His voice is dangerous silk. I wanted you the moment you sat on my floor and fed my daughter soup. I wanted you when you laughed at my terrible jokes and told me my coffee was shit. I wanted you before I knew about the blood, before I knew about the connection, before I knew you were the only thing keeping my world from collapsing. He backs me against the counter, cages me with his arms. I want you when you're covered in flour and swearing in Spanish. I want you when you're reading to Sophia with that soft voice you use. I want you in the morning when your hair is a mess and you're grumpy before coffee. I want you at night when you think I'm asleep and you stare at the ceiling like you're trying to figure out how you ended up here. His lips brush my neck, my jaw, my mouth. I want you in ways that have nothing to do with biology and everything to do with the fact that you're brilliant and brave and you make me feel human again. So yes, Elena, I want you. Is that clear enough? I can barely breathe. Yes. Good. He lifts me onto the counter, steps between my legs. Because I'm done pretending this is just about Sophia. I'm done pretending I can be professional or distant or anything other than completely fucking obsessed with you. Julian. Say yes, he demands against my lips. Say yes or tell me to stop. Say yes, he demands against my lips. Say yes or tell me to stop. I should tell him to stop. This is messy and complicated and probably psychological suicide. But his hands are on my thighs, his breath is hot against my skin, and I'm so tired of fighting what I feel. Yes, I whisper. He kisses me like I'm oxygen, like I'm the only thing keeping him alive. And maybe I am. Maybe that's what this is. Two people drowning, clinging to each other in the dark. We make it as far as the living room couch. Clothes scatter like casualties. His hands map every inch of my skin, and I learn the geography of his body, every muscle, every sensitive spot, every way to make him gasp my name. Elena. He groans against my throat. God, Elena! And then Sophia screams, we're up instantly, scrambling for clothes. Julian runs to her room, and I'm right behind him, my heart in my throat. She's sitting up in bed, eyes wide, gasping for air. Baby, what's wrong? Julian is at her side immediately, but she's reaching past him, reaching for me. Elena, she sobs. I had a dream. I had a dream you left. I push past Julian, pull her into my arms. She's shaking, her small body racked with fear. I'm here, I murmur, stroking her hair. I'm right here, sweetheart. I'm not going anywhere. Promise? Her voice is so small I look up at Julian. He's watching us with an expression I can't read. Something between gratitude and grief, I promise, I say. And I feel the weight of that promise settle over me like chains. Sophia falls back asleep in my arms. Julian helps me carry her back to bed, and then we stand in the hallway, suddenly aware of what almost happened. Of what keeps happening. We can't keep doing this, I say quietly. I know. It's not fair to her. I know. We need boundaries. I know. He reaches out, tucks a strand of hair behind my ear. But I don't know how to not want you, Elena. I don't know how to go back to before. We have to try, I say, even though the words taste like ash. For Sophia. He nods, but I see the way his jaw clenches, the way his hands fist at his sides. Go back to your room, he says finally. Before I do something we'll both regret. I walk away, force myself not to look back, but I feel his eyes on me the whole way down the hall. And I know, this isn't over. Not even close. The truth is I've been lying to everyone, including myself. It's been 2 months since the hospital. 2 months since Julian and I agreed to maintain boundaries. 2 months of careful distance that's been slowly killing both of us, and today, Dr. Chen called with news that changes everything. They found a way, I tell Julian, watching him pace his office like a caged animal, a treatment that could sever the biological connection. 6 months, gradual antibodies. Sophia would be free. He stops, looks at me. And you? I go back to normal. We separate. You'd be free. His voice is hollow. Yes. The word hangs between us like a blade. Do you want to? He asks quietly. Leave? And here it is. The question I've been avoiding. The question that keeps me awake at 3 a.m. I don't know, I admit. How do I know what's real, Julian? How do I know if I'm staying because I want to, or because my body needs you? Does it matter? Of course it matters. I stand up, desperate. What if we do this treatment and everything I feel just disappears? What if it was never love, just chemistry? He walks to his desk, opens a drawer, pulls out a folder and hands it to me. I open it. It's a contract, transferring my restaurant back to me, establishing a $5 million trust fund, releasing me from any obligation to stay. His signature is already at the bottom. You're free, Elena, regardless of what you decide. I won't keep you here, even if losing you destroys me. My hands shake. Julian, there's more. He pulls out a handwritten letter. Dated 2 weeks before we met. Sometimes I imagine meeting someone who could make me believe in miracles again. Someone who'd see Julian instead of Julian Cross. I wonder if I'd even recognize her, if I'd be brave enough to hold on. I look up, tears streaming. You wrote this before you saved my daughter's life for the second time. He cups my face. You want to know if this is real? Elena, I was dreaming of you before you existed in my world. Before I knew your name, I'm scared, I whisper. Me too. What if we do the treatment and everything falls apart? Then we fall apart knowing we chose each other. Not because we had to, because we wanted to. He kisses my forehead. I love you. Not your blood. Not what you do for Sophia. You. I love you too, I sob. God, I'm terrified it's not real. Then let's find out. Do the treatment. Break the connection. And then choose me anyway. I think about Sophia. About this life I've built.
About freedom, real freedom.
The freedom to choose. Okay, I whisper. Let's do it. 6 months later, again. Sophia demands, laughing as I flip another pancake. The treatment is complete. Last week Dr. Chen confirmed it. Sophia can eat food prepared by anyone now and I'm still here. Not because I have to be. But because when I wake up the first thing I want is to see Julian's face. Because Sophia asked me to officially adopt her. And I ugly cried when I said yes. Because this penthouse became home. Julian walks in, steals a pancake, kisses Sophia's head. Then, casual, natural, real, he kisses me. Morning, he murmurs. Morning. Later on the balcony he gives me a key. To your restaurant. I had it renovated. Your grandmother's recipes on the walls, everything that makes it yours. Because you should never choose between loving me and being yourself. Then he pulls out a ring. 3 stones, ruby, emerald, sapphire. Sophia helped me pick it. Ruby for courage, emerald for growth, sapphire for loyalty. His voice cracks. Marry me. Not because you have to. Because you want to wake up next to me for the rest of your life. Yes, I laugh through tears. Yes, you idiot. Inside, Sophia calls for us. Julian groans but smiles and we head back together. This is my life now. Morning chaos and stolen kisses. A little girl who calls me mom. A man who looks at me like I'm magic. The doctor said what happened was impossible. But standing here, Julian's hand in mine, Sophia's laughter echoing, I think maybe that's the point. Maybe miracles aren't about odds, they're about showing up anyway. About choosing love when logic says run. I'd choose it all again. Every impossible moment. Because sometimes the best things in life are the ones that shouldn't exist.